Welcome to the Lipstick Living channel. I'm Rachel and you can find me on Instagram at The Lipstick Living. Please like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe to my channel. So today's video is my Q4 favorites. So I wanted to do this at home so that I could show all of the items, or most of the items that I could, but I am having to do this in a hotel room. So I am going to show you everything that I have with me, and then I will try to take videos of the other items that I can't show and try to pop those in here. Sorry. Okay, sorry, Leo was attacking me. Okay. All right, so the first category is beauty, and I just wanted to talk about the sunscreen that I used all quarter. And I know it's a weird time to be using sunscreen, but I use it year round. You definitely should, especially if you have lighter skin, you should always wear sunscreen. I wear it in the morning, obviously. I just put it on. I incorporate it in my morning skincare routine, and I found Supergoop. I found the brand, years ago, and I heard people talking about it, and I just never bought any because I already had sunscreen that I bought from my sister's spa. She works at a med spa, and so I was using that. But once I found this, it completely changed everything. So I got the glow screen, and then I got the regular, this is for your face, and then I got the regular that's like a clear sunscreen. I also have that one, but I didn't bring it with me. And then and it's SPF 40. I think both are 40, the clear one and the glow screen, which this has like a little bit of a tint to it, but not really. It just makes you look glowy. So I love those. And then I also got the body sunscreen that you rub in, and then I got the body sunscreen that you spray. So I got the spray, I got 2 bottles of the spray, and then I got a big bottle of the glow screen that you rub in for your body. And then I got this one and the clear face sunscreen. And we went to Puerto Rico, so I bought a bunch when it was on sale before we went. And when we were in Puerto Rico, we went through the entire glow screen body rub-in sunscreen, and then we went through 2 of those spray bottles. And I used a lot of this and a lot of the clear one. Crystal used that one mostly. So we went through a lot of it, and it worked really well. It blends in really well, and it's a nice base if you want to add makeup. So a lot of my sunscreens that I've used in the past will, they won't like dry down. So when you put on your foundation, it kind of like picks up and makes this really weird dry skin kind of like on your, it just makes this really weird, like it comes off of your skin, it doesn't sink in. So this one doesn't do that, and it looks really pretty underneath your makeup, and it definitely helps protect my skin. I did not get sunburn. I got sunburnt towards the end, but it was because we were on this all-day tour on a boat, and I couldn't reapply because we were getting in the water so frequently that I would try to reapply, but then we'd get in the water right after, so it didn't have time to sink in. And so I got a little burnt that day, but other than that, I was completely fine. So I think it works really well too. Okay, so then the next thing in beauty is my red lip combo that I started wearing a lot around the holidays. A lot of my makeup it's more expensive, but these 2 are actually from the drugstore. They're both Maybelline, and the lip liner I used is called Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner, and it's in the shade Brick Red. And then to pair with it, I would use this Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink, and it's in the shade Pioneer, number 20. So that's what that looks like. But this is awesome. It stays on very well, and it doesn't transfer. So it dries down pretty well, but it still stays pretty moisturized. I think they're great, especially to be drugstore and to be inexpensive. I definitely recommend those. The last thing in the beauty section is my nail polish that I found. It's a nail polish combo that I created. But on my base, it is from Essie, and it's in the shade Penny Talk. So this is I have to get closer. This is the color of the base that I would put on. And then this is the top that I would put on, and it's from the brand Zoya, and it is called Nala, N-A-H-L-A, Nala. So I would put this on top of the Penny Talk, and it makes this kind of pretty gold shimmery color, like metallic-y gold. So I created that, and I wore that a lot around the holidays. I also wore a red fingernail polish that I love a lot too, but I don't have that with me. It is Essie brand, and I can't remember the color, but I will link it below with all of the items that I talk about today. So that is it for beauty. And then in the home section, I have two things. So I found this candle off of, I started watching Gemma Louise Miles. I found her YouTube channel during the fall, and I watched her channel consistently. She had a lot of great fall videos, and it was super cozy and cute. She is in England, so I love her accent, and she's really funny to me. So anyway, I found her videos, and she was using these sand and fog candles. So I saw her burning them at her house, and they looked really cute, and she said they smelled amazing. So I found them at Marshall's, and they're super inexpensive. It's like a big candle. It's 2 wick, but it's very big. It's like the size of a Bath and Body Works candle, and it was like, I think they're like $7.99. So it's like $7 or $8. And they last for a long time. I specifically found the scent Winter Pine, and it smelled really great during the holidays. It smelled like a tree kind of, but it was really refreshing and piney and not too earthy, and not too sweet either. So it was like the perfect scent to have on in the house, especially since we have an artificial tree. So it smells really great, and I love that brand. So now I'll definitely continue to buy those candles because they're way less expensive than the ones at Bath and Body, and they smell better in my opinion. I also wanted to mention the hatch. So we have this, I don't have it to show because I don't bring it with me when I travel, but it is an alarm clock slash nightlight slash meditation machine slash sound machine. It's really awesome. So you can set up, you use an app on your phone, and you can set it up for the nighttime routine that you want to have. Okay, here is my hatch, and I am going to show how it works. So I'm just going to tap on the top, and it should start my routine. So it turns on a bright light that I chose the color of, and I chose the brightness because I read for the first part, and I have it set, I think, for 20 minutes. And then the sound I chose is a crackling fireplace. And then the next goes to this like purpley blue meditative color. And it has a sound, but I think I have it turned down too low right now. But usually it's like it used to be a full meditation, but I use the Headspace app. Oh, here it is. It is meditation. But I don't really use this anymore because I have the Headspace app that I use as my meditation. So I usually just skip this right to the last step, which is my white noise that I've picked. And then I put no light on for this because I'll be asleep. And then the next step is in the morning, my alarm will go off at the sound that I chose. But all I have to do in the morning when it's going off is press this top part once. And it should start, or no, I hold it down, sorry. You hold it down and then it turns it off. And then it should go back to your time. Yeah. And I think it was like a little over $100, maybe like $120. So I think for what it does, and I mean, obviously I'll keep it forever. So I think it was definitely worth it. And I use it every single night. So I just thought I would mention it because I don't think I've ever included it in a favorites video before, but I've had it for years now. So I just wanted to mention that. And then for the next section, I have books and TV. And well, I included books, TV, and movies all in one section this time because I only have one book to mention. I read more than one book, but this is the only 5-star book that I read in the whole Q4. And I wasn't reading that much anyway, but this is the only 5-star book I read. So I'll start with that one. It is called A Special Place for Women. And I forgot to write down who it's by, so I'll pop it up on the screen. I'll show the book, but it was incredible. It was based in New York City. It was about this secret society of women and this journalist who wanted to crack it open and figure out what they were doing. And there's a big twist at the end that you would never guess. It's just very interesting, and it's kind of like a spooky book, so I'm glad that I read it towards, I read it like in October, so it was like towards like a spooky season kind of time, because quarter four was obviously October through December. So I read it more towards the fall time of that season, and it was like the perfect time to be reading that. So I would suggest if you do want to read it, wait until the fall and add it to your reading list then. And then for TV, we watched The Witcher season 2. We haven't completed it yet. We haven't watched the entire season, but we made it through, I think, over halfway. And I like it, but it is very cheesy at times, so sometimes it's just a little too much. But I like it overall. I think it's interesting. And then we found this mini series. I think it had 6 episodes, but it is a mystery murder thriller type of TV show. It's called The Chestnut Man. It's about a serial killer, and it's really interesting. It's not too scary. There are a couple of scenes where it's a little too gory. There is like a scene where there's a pig that's shown being like chopped up or worked on or something. I don't know. I didn't watch it because Crystal told me not to look, but it's something like that. So if you have like any kind of, triggers, look that up before watching it. Otherwise, it was a great TV show. And then we also love the Great British Bake Off. So that's like one of our favorite TV shows, and they had a new season come out. And then they also had a new holiday season where they do, I think, 2 episodes every holiday season. And so we watch those as well. That's always great. And then not every, but the past 2 years, they've had a recap video, kind of like a movie. I think it's like a little over an hour maybe. It's a movie about the recap of the previous year. So the first one started in 2020, and then they just had one in 2021, and it's really, really funny. It's more based towards liberals, so I will say if you're conservative, you probably wouldn't find it funny. You'd probably be offended. I don't know, but I just want to put that out. I don't think any conservatives are watching my videos anyway, but if you are, you probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as I did. Oh, and then Dancing with Stars. So we didn't watch the full season of Dancing with Stars, but I did watch it halfway through, and I do like that show a lot, so I wanted to mention it. I am going to finish it, though. Crystal found out who won, so it kind of made her want to stop watching it, so I'm going to have to find time to watch it by myself. So I will finish that season, but I love the show. I've watched it. I've watched multiple seasons of it. And then the last TV show is called Invasion. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain this well, but it was kind of like sort of like a pandemic, where like aliens come down to Earth and crazy shit starts happening, and it shows different people in different stories around the world. So there's like something going on in Japan with this lesbian couple. That's crazy. Then there's another thing with this kid. He's like 13, and he was on a school trip, and the driver/teacher crashed the bus because these aliens had landed and made these huge craters in the ground with whatever they landed with. And so he drove off the path and crashed the bus, and then he was like in a coma, and so the kids were trying to figure out, and they couldn't get out because it was in this huge crater, and it was like, to climb up the side of it, it was like a huge mountain, and they were just kids, and the teacher was knocked out, so they didn't know what to do, so that was going on. Then there was another storyline with this woman who was a doctor, and her husband was cheating on her, and she found out right before this happened. And then they have 2 kids, so her and her husband and the 2 kids are trying to get out and maneuver that. And then she ends up running into an alien and has to like fight it. And then I think there's another storyline that I'm missing, but there's just a bunch of crazy shit going on at one time. Oh, soldier. Yes, there's another storyline in it about a soldier who's actually a pretty big douchebag, and I really hate his character. But he is in the Middle East when this happens, and he loses his way from his other team or friends or whatever the fuck you call them. So he loses contact with his I don't know, whoever his manager would be. I don't really know what the terms are for military, but like his manager, his superior or whatever and his group, he loses his way from them because they kind of encounter an alien. When they encounter the alien, then they get split up, and he's kind of like lost his way in the Middle East. So he's like in the middle of the desert. Someone does find him, a man does find him, and then he goes on a journey, but that's all I'll say. So it's really interesting and kind of scary, a little bit gory, not anything too bad because I was able to get through it, but it was really sad. Like, I felt that little boy, the little teenager boy, he's British too, so it just makes him even cuter, and it's so sad what he goes through, like his mom, his whole mom situation, and then like his whole family life situation, and he's bullied by these really mean kids, and he's so sweet and kind. Like, you can just tell his nature is just super kind and beautiful, and everybody's like hating on him and bullying him, and it just makes me really sad. And I felt like at one point that I was like he was my child and I needed to go rescue him, and I never felt that way, especially about men. I mean, I know he was a little boy, but even then I usually have more sympathy for little girls and stuff, but I just really loved his character and felt so bad for him, and it made me cry a couple of times. So there was that. And then the only real movie that I have on the list is House of Gucci. We went and saw this in theater, and it was really good. I know now that I've thought about it, I will say Lady Gaga's accent was kind of bad. We were drunk when we were watching it, so I didn't really notice it the first time. But I didn't watch it again, but I didn't notice it then. I just kind of thought about it after the fact, after someone mentioned it, and then I was like, oh yeah, it kind of wasn't that good, but I didn't really pay attention when I was watching it because we were drunk. So it wasn't like the best movie ever, but it was really the only real movie that we watched in that quarter, like going to the theater and stuff. And overall, it was good. I was entertained, so. All right, so the next section is music, and I have quite a bit, so I'm just going to run through them. First, I have This Groove by Oliver Heldens and Leno. Next is Going Deaf by Persona La Avenue. Then Hemisphere by Paradise. And then Come Away by Sad Money, Cascade, and Sabrina Claudio. I don't know how to pronounce. I'm not going to pronounce these names right. And the next is Break This Habit by Oliver Heldens. Easy on Me by Adele. Intoxicated by Martin Solveig and Good Times Ahead. Eras 2 by Carla Morrison. San Jose 51 by Bosque y la Candela All Stars featuring Hector Alomar. Frozen by Sabrina Claudio. Girls, Girls, Girls by Fletcher. And I Am Woman by Emmy Melly. Okay, the next section is clothing, and I don't have anything to show on this one except for the pajamas. So I bought these pajamas from Target, and I talked about it in my shopping haul. I think I had a shopping haul video, and I bought this top with a pair of shorts, and then I also bought the pajama pants to match, and it's by Stars Above, and it's super, super soft material, and they're like my favorite pajamas ever now, so I wear them a lot. I really, really love how soft they are, and I like the print too. I think it's pretty cute, so I wanted to mention that. And then I have another set of pajamas that I bought from Old Navy it was like holiday pajamas that I bought for me and Crystal. So it was our matching pajama set for our Christmas picture that we wanted to put that we included in our Christmas cards. So I don't have those to show, but I'm sure you've seen them if you watch my Christmas vlogs. I'm wearing them in a lot of those videos. It's just like a red sweater with hearts on them, and then Crystal's red sweater says something about Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, something about holiday cheer. The last thing in the clothing section is my plaid skirt that I got from Stitch Fix. It's like a black and white plaid skirt, and it's scalloped on the bottom, and it has pockets. It's super cute, and I wore that a lot over the last quarter. I don't have it with me, so I'll pop that up on the screen somehow or show a picture of me wearing it. And then the next section is stationery /crafts/planning. So I have a lot in this one this time. So my Christmas cards that I bought from One and Only Paper, I loved those Christmas cards. They were the highest quality ever. They felt like velvet. They were super beautiful. The design was amazing. I loved all the designs that she created for it. And the back side was, it was very high quality paper. So I was able to draw on it with a gel pen and also with my Tombow brush pen markers on the back. So, and none of it smeared, none of it bled through. It was great. So that will bring me to my next thing, is my gold pen that I used. I used this in my December bullet journal setup to make the gold flecks in my poinsettias. And then I also used it on the back of my Christmas cards where I wrote out Merry Christmas on them. At the top part of it, and it is the Sanford Uniball Gel Impact 1.0 millimeter. So it's like a metallic-y gold, but this is it. I'll show you up close. Next is my Misty Stamp Tool. So that is a tool that I bought off Amazon, and it basically helps you stamp your ink of the stamp that you have in the same spot multiple times, because a lot of times when you're stamping, you don't get all of the ink on the stamp. So when you stamp it on the paper, there's missing parts of it. And for embossing, which is what I was trying to do with it, it's really important for you to get the entire ink on the stamp transferred to the paper. So you might have to do it multiple times. So basically what it does is you stick your stamp on one side, and then you put your paper that you're stamping on the right side, and it has this window that closes over on it so that you can take your ink pad and put it on the stamp and then close it to put on the paper. And you can do that as many times as you need to get it completely saturated on the paper. And the reason why I needed to do that embossing wise is because you take an embossing powder and pour that over the ink that you've stamped. It's just like a clear sticky ink that you put on it so that it captures all of that powder, and then you can shake it off and then emboss it with your heat gun, and then it makes this really pretty stamp that's like embossed, so it's kind of like glittery sort of, or metallic-y looking or whatever. So I made some poinsettias doing that, and they turned out really pretty, I thought. So the other two things I wanted to mention is the embossing heat gun that I bought. I got that off of Amazon as well, and it's by the brand Wow. So it's just the Wow embossing heat gun. And then the powder that I bought is from Ranger. So it's Ranger ink embossing powder. So I bought a few of those off Amazon, and then I got a couple at Michael's. So I got like gold, and then like this snow color, and then this like sparkly white glitter color, and then I got a green and a red. So just like Christmas colors. And then I also got a paper from Michael's that was really, really nice to stamp on, and really to do anything on. It's very, very nice paper. It's like almost like a cardstock material, but it feels different. It's textured. And I don't have it with me to show, and I can't remember the name of the paper, what it's called, but it's 12 by 12. So it's like a big, scrapbooking size paper, but you can cut it down to do whatever you want with it. And I loved it. I used it a lot. I used it in my December daily album, and I used it to stamp on. I used it to make those, poinsettias that I embossed. So it held up really well. It didn't really wilt under that heat from the embossing gun. So I liked it a lot, and I'll definitely buy more. It was kind of expensive, for it being, but it gives you a lot. I think it's like 50 sheets of paper in that pack. So I will pop that up too, and I'll list it below since I can't remember the name of it. So I think that's it for that section. And then the last section I have is tech. So I wanted to mention the gimbal. I bought that off of Amazon as well. We used it on our Puerto Rico trip, so it's really great if you want to make vlogs or YouTube videos, whatever. It swivels around for you, and you can make really cool videos with it, and you can also use it as a stand to take your videos. We actually used it for the entire Vlogmas because we would set it on the table in front of us, and we would sit in front of our tree, and we would kind of use it as a stand to put our phone in, because I didn't want to drag out the ring light every single day when we were vlogging. So that came in handy. It was also easy to travel with because it's really small. I'll show it. I think I brought it with me. Let me find it. And I'll link it below because I got it off Amazon. So I'll add it in my little, I think I'll make a kit so that if you want to buy anything, it'll be in that kit. And then comes with a charger because you have to charge it every so often, but the charge does last a while. And then it comes with this little thing that connects to your phone if you're using your phone to video with it. So you just put that on the back of your phone, and then it's magnetic. Let me turn this on. So you can stick this to the back of your phone, and then this is magnetic, and so it sticks to here. So then your phone is able to take pictures or videos or whatever you want to do with it. And then this little button right here controls it. So you can like move it, and it'll move this part up here. I'm going to attempt to show with Crystal's phone how it works. So you put this little thing on the back of your phone. So now that I have this thing on the phone, you can put it here. And then you're supposed to press the M, and then it gets it all ready for you like that. So like flips it around. And then you can maneuver it like this. See, it moves how you want it. It moves up and down too. So that came in handy to do vlogging with because you can like hold it up to you and swivel it around and make cool videos with it. And you can also use it as a stand, so I'll show you how to do that too. It comes with this little stand right here that goes out into a little tripod, but it has a screw on the bottom that you can screw in to the bottom of this. So it's not like the tallest stand, so you have to like sit it up on something, but usually there's a table or something you can set it up on. So then it looks like that, and you can sit it somewhere from far away and record yourself. And the other thing in the tech section is a tree remote. So it is a remote that we got to turn our Christmas tree on and off in our living room so that we didn't have to go and plug it in, you know, physically plug it in and unplug it every single morning when we would want it on, because we would turn it off at night when we go to bed. That was really nice to have, and now I think it was like $20 or $25, so it wasn't super expensive, but because I'll keep it for years, you know, and it's battery controlled, so if the battery ever dies, you can easily find another one to order and replace it with, so it should last forever. That was really convenient. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it for my Q4 of 2021 favorites, and I will link everything that I can down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!